Hello, everyone. I'm back after a few Q&As that I haven't done. Sorry for not being here. It has been a crazy weeks with a lot of work and a lot of things to do at home. I just moved houses, so I have been doing a lot of work there, plus some other things as well. So today it's a public holiday in New Zealand. So I wanted to, first of all, as always, answer every question that anyone has for me. I would definitely want everyone to ask their questions. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk a little bit about New Zealand, more than work-related things. I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the different things that you can do in New Zealand, or how it looks to live in New Zealand, being an immigrant. So what I wanted to share today is all the different things that usually people do in their public holidays. For example, now that we are on a public holiday. So usually people in New Zealand, when there's a long weekend, they will travel somewhere. That's the amazing thing of New Zealand. When I was moving from Argentina to New Zealand, a lot of people were asking me, why New Zealand? Why have you decided to go to that country that it's in the other part of the world, and it's a tiny country? So one of the answers I gave to people was, well, there's so many different things that you can do in New Zealand, and in the long weekends. For example, you can go skiing. There's some ski places 4 hours drive from Auckland. You can go to the beach, and to like super paradise places that they're amazing. So you can go there as well. Like most of the time, people take the advantage that it's a tiny country to travel around the country. A lot of people doing camper vans and going from here to there, and that's something that it's very, very usual for people to do in New Zealand. Hi, Alex. Thanks for being here with us today. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, Alex. In the meantime, if not, I'm going to be talking about the different things that you can do in New Zealand in long weekends, as we are in a long weekend this one. So yeah, it's you will listen to the term batch a lot. A batch is kind of like a house that a lot of New Zealanders have for spending the weekends, or the long weekends or the summers. And a lot of people use this badge to get an extra income, and they have their badges in Airbnb. There's a local company called Batch Care. That it's kind of a software company, because they do hire software developers to run their business and their platform. And it's very common that you will go and see, it's like, okay, long weekend, I would like to go 3 hours away from Auckland, not more than that, and find different places where you can go and do hiking. In summer, you can go to the beach, or for example, if you go to Rotorua, you can go to all the different volcans there, and there are some glaciers and a lot of different activities. You have all these, I don't know how to say it in English, but thermal water. So you can go there, and there's a lot of lagoons that you can go and do some kayak, and plenty of other activities. So yeah, like a lot of different things that you can do during the weekend. That's something that you can do in the lifestyle in New Zealand, as a kind of like social thing. A lot of other things that you can do is Auckland specifically. It's a city that you can find a lot of different people from all over the world. So you will have like the different groups of people that they will be doing their activities here. For example, yesterday we were gonna play football, and we are a group of, I don't know, 40 people in WhatsApp, and every Sunday we go to a park it's just a few blocks away from the beach that is amazing, and we play football. We are people from Brazil, people from Uruguay, Argentina, some English, some Kiwi, some Scottish people, all people from different places of the world that they enjoy playing football. Well, we just meet, we go to a park, like you have beautiful grass there, you can play, it's amazing. I wish I would have these kind of like places back in Argentina that you can go and play without having to pay anything. Like that's something that it's amazing that you can do as well. It's just a matter of finding a group of people that share the same taste for things that you want to do during the weekend. Talking about taste, it's very common that people from South America, they will find their places to buy the meat, the kinds of cut of meats that you will want to have in South America. There's a butchery in a neighborhood called Glen Eden that you can find all the Argentinian cuts, but also South African cuts that they are also very, very into barbecues. And yeah, you can just cook an asado, how we would call it, during the weekends and spend time with friends and family. There's, again, a lot of people from all different places around the world here. So a lot of people are having their communities from their countries, origin countries here. And that's something that you can do quite a lot as well. Something I do with my son every now and then is there is this place called Snow Planet. Snow Planet is artificial ski field that it's 45 minutes away from Auckland. And I take my son there and I teach him how to ski. I'm a big fan of skiing. My family is originally from Mendoza city in Argentina, and the mountain is quite a thing for me. So yeah, I basically take my son there. I teach him how to ski. Then we have some food there. It's a very nice. And I come back home. Like, again, a lot of different things that you can do in Auckland, especially in winter. Usually you struggle a little bit more to find things to do because it's quite rainy season, winter in Auckland. So many times you want to think of where we can take the kids or what something else. If you don't have kids, what you can do, like there are museums. What else you can do? Of course, there are a lot of different restaurants that you can go, or if it's not raining, go and walk into different parks. But yeah, that's kind of like the lifestyle in New Zealand. Things finish here very early in the day. The other day I had to go and buy some stuff, and the shopping centers or the shopping malls, usually they closed quite early. Most of them by 5 p.m. they're going to be closed. So you really have to be a little bit organized if you want to go and do some shopping. So yeah, cool. Alex, I have your first question. The question is it is possible to get a job remotely without a visa? My cover letter indicates that I do not have a visa and I'm being advised by immigration agents. It is possible to get a job remotely without a visa. So the answer is yes. Yes, you can. Indeed, there are some people that I know that they are currently working remotely for New Zealand. I guess that, and again, here I'm not an immigration advisor, so definitely follow the advice of an immigration advisor when it comes to visa. But the people I know that they're doing these kind of jobs remotely for New Zealand companies, usually they're engaging in very short terms contracts, like contracts that maybe are 2 months or 3 months, and they're engaging with the company as an independent contractor, and they are invoicing as an independent contractor to the company, so the company can pay the invoice internationally through bank accounts, or they might use platforms like Payoneer or TransferWise, and that's how they do it. Usually, for companies to be able to engage with remote workers in other countries, they will have to do it in a way that they are making sure that they are carrying all the legal stuff, because yeah, you are not an employee of the company, you are not in New Zealand, so yeah, it is possible, but usually companies are going to be more comfortable doing that if it's a short-term contract more than a permanent employee. I don't believe, again, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an immigration advisor, but I don't believe that you're going to be able to have a full-time permanent job with a New Zealand company for a long period. Like, you won't be able to do it because companies can't hire you. So usually they will have to engage with you as a company more than as an employee. So I hope that answers your question, Alex. But yeah, basically, I believe that the most difficult thing in order to get jobs remotely, it's not too much about how you're going to make it work from a legal point of view, but the most difficult part of it is how the companies are going to get to know you in order to offer you a job opportunity. So because again, if you're in Chile, that's a country that's the other part of the world, and the different time zone might not be ideal. Still, it works because you can work from 8 a.m. New Zealand time to 12 p.m. New Zealand time, and that probably would be 5 p.m. in Chile to 9 p.m. in Chile. So you can still make it work. You can have a window of 4 hours in order to make it work. But yeah, usually it's going to be as an independent contractor, not as an employee of the company, and you will have your own company that it's going to be sending the invoice to the New Zealand company. But again, it needs to be a short period of time and for something very specific, because if not, it can be seen as that you're an employee and you are not doing things according to the labor law in New Zealand. But again, I'm not a labor law, I'm not a lawyer specialized in labor, and I'm not an immigrant. So probably you need to get yourself someone that can really help you with that. But again, I think that the most important thing is companies getting to know you to see how they can make it work. I know that there are some companies. There's a company in South America. Can't remember the name now. I will try to figure out. I'll send it to you then, Alex, or maybe share the link in LinkedIn. But there's a company that allows companies to hire people remotely in quite a lot of different countries in a way that it's kind of like that most countries can get it through their legislation. So can't remember the name of the company, but I'm gonna do some research and share that with you later, because probably it will help you to solve the problem for the company. If you can have a solution for that kind of problem for the company, then you're gonna make it easier for them to want to hire you. So yeah, if anyone else watching me today has another question, please feel free to ask your question, whatever the question is. It doesn't have to be work related. It can be about lifestyle in New Zealand, and today I'm talking a little bit about that. Currently, lifestyle in New Zealand, when it comes to travel, it's not great, at least for me, that I would be super keen to go and visit my family in Argentina, because New Zealand borders are still closed. So if I would want to go from New Zealand to Argentina, I would be able to do it. But then when I come back, I will have to do 2 weeks of quarantine, and I have to be in a kind of like an isolated place that the governments provide you with, and usually there are hotels. But there's quite a lot of demand for those. So usually you have to wait for a few months until you can get accommodation. So that makes it quite complicated to travel. Also, for people that are on work visas in New Zealand, I believe that if they go out of the country, then they can't come back. Again, not immigration advisor, so probably you will have to check this information. But that's currently what's happening for people that holds work visas. If they go out, they can't come back until the borders are open to everyone. And like, I'm lucky that that's not my situation because I'm already a New Zealand citizen. But I know a lot of people that with the work visa they're not able to travel. Well, they are, but then they can't come back. What else can I share about living in New Zealand? I already talked a little bit about how you can travel around the country. I talked a little bit about what things that you might be able to do in Auckland, apart from going to the beach. I really love skiing, and that's something you can do. There are different museums, and there are a lot of different restaurants and pubs in order to go out with friends or family. There are a lot of different parks. There are a lot of places that they have kind of trampolines for the kids, where they go and they spend quite a lot of time jumping. That's quite a lot of fun for them. For me, in the last probably four and a half years, it has been quite a lot about doing things with the kids because my son is 4.5 years old. So that's probably why I'm sharing all these examples that are more for people with kids. But yeah, plenty of things to do if you don't have kids as well. Like a lot of things to do outdoors, but a lot of other things to do indoors as well. Like, unfortunately, now we don't have a lot of bands and singers coming from different parts of the world. But like, yeah, before COVID, a lot of different bands coming to New Zealand, like ACDC, not ACDC, Metallica, I think it was. But yeah, like lot of different bands. I can't remember which ones now. I think the Rolling Stone came as well, and yeah, I can't really remember which ones, but a lot of bands coming here, so you can have quite a lot of of cultural things going on here. But yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys today. New Zealand, it's a place that if you want to do a lot of outdoor lifestyle, it's definitely the place. You can go to a lot of, you can go surfing, you can go skiing, you can go doing mountain bike. Now that I say that, there's a place in Auckland that it's called Woodhill, that they have like very good place. They in a wood they have put together something for kind of like professional mountain bikers. It's a lot of fun. I went there a couple of times, and it's very, very nice. And that's something you can do all around the year. And yeah, again, if you want to go if you enjoy living in cities that they are super busy, that they have a night lifestyle that it's very busy, well, then New Zealand probably is not the place. If you think that you would like to live in cities like Paris or London or New York or San Francisco or even Buenos Aires, San Pablo, Santiago de Chile, Medellin, like, again, I'm just saying cities that I'm maybe more familiar with. But if you want to live in a busy city where a lot of things are going on at the same time and a lot of people and you like the night lifestyle, definitely New Zealand is not the place. It's all the cities are quite small. Auckland is the biggest city in the country, and still it's a small city. Then if you want to go to other city in New Zealand that has quite a lifestyle, Wellington, it's beautiful, but still, again, it's a small city. Also, the weather in Wellington, it's quite windy, and there's a lot of rain, but still, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. I went there twice, and the vibe of the place, it's very nice. Lot of positive energy, lot of pubs, lot of music. It really has an identity, like very local identity. And then you have Christchurch, that it's another city that it's part of. Like I would say that Auckland, Hamilton, and Wellington from the North Island are the most busiest cities. Not much, and Christchurch, South Island, and probably Queenstown as well if you go for tourism. But currently, because we don't have international tourism, it's quite quiet. But yeah, like again, if you like outdoors, New Zealand, it's definitely the place. If you enjoy going out to take pictures, photos, enjoy the viewings, New Zealand, it's definitely the place. It has a great mix between work, like professional job opportunities, and chill and relaxed lifestyle. It's a combination that it's very hard to find in a lot of different places. Usually, if you go to a busy city with a lot of career opportunity, then you might not have that lifestyle that it's outdoors and chill and be able to be near the nature in just a few minutes. And if you go to a place where you enjoy the nature, it's very quiet, and you can relax, then you might not have too many job opportunities. So New Zealand has that mix of very good job opportunities at the same time that you can really enjoy the nature. Hi Max, thanks for being with us today. Glad to see that you're also from Chile, our neighbors from Chile. If you have questions, please let me know. But yeah, if there's not too many other questions, I'm gonna be finishing the Q&A. So I can go and spend some time with the family now that it's a public holiday. But because I haven't been doing it for a while, I really wanted to do it. Hi, Julian. Nice to see you here. Feel free to shoot any questions. I'm just saying that because it's a public holiday, I wanted to share a little bit of lifestyle in New Zealand. Being an Argentinian or a South American, like I try to share things that I kind of think that might be of interest to people out there. But if you are watching and you're not from South America, and I know that a lot of people from India follow my channel, definitely there's a lot of things for our friends from India going on, because there's a lot of people from India living in New Zealand. So there are a lot of activities. I know that Indians are quite fan of cricket. So every park you go, you can see that you have everything sorted to be able to play cricket. And then, of course, that's something I didn't mention. What I really like about Auckland, and I think that you can find this quite a lot all around the country, is the different kind of foods that you can taste in New Zealand. Indian food, Vietnamese food, Thai food, Chinese food. You can still find kind of more European cuisine where you can find Italian restaurants or French restaurants. You also have the classic Kiwi food that I understand that it's quite British as well, like what they call here the fish and chips, or the pie, like steak and cheese pie or mince pie. Like I really love that you can go to a lot of different restaurants that they are very local from the original countries, where you can that there's people from Thailand or people from China or Vietnam or wherever the country is, Greeks from Greece, like local people from those countries will be serving you, and it's always a nice opportunity to learn from other countries, learn from other cultures. There's a lot of Lebanese food. I have found that in Argentina we have quite a few different things that are coming from Lebanese food, Arabic food. So yeah, it's beautiful. You go out there and you can find all these small restaurants, not too fancy but very local from the original countries, and you can taste a lot of different foods, and it's beautiful. But yeah, so if there's not any other question, I will finish the Q&A today. I would really like, guys, for you to be able to ask all the questions you have. Like, don't hesitate. Like, ask whatever the question you want to ask. So I can be able to answer those. That's the whole idea of this. If not, in the meantime, I will always share things or experiences that I think that it could be useful for anyone in New Zealand that wants to get advice on their career development, or even if they are kind of relatively new to the country, if they have been here for a year and a half, just before COVID, and you want some advice on what things you can do, definitely I will share that. And yeah, maybe next time, if you think it's something useful, I can talk about how the health medical system works here in New Zealand, and how the education system works here in New Zealand, for people that might want to understand how that works. But if not, I will see you next Monday. I promise you that I'm going to be doing it again regularly every Monday in New Zealand. And see you next time. Have a great week, and thanks for being with me here today. And yep, that's it. See you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.